The situation now is catastrophic. As a supermarket owner, I keep searching in the streets and around me for any supply for my supermarket, but I find nothing. Every day we search for anything, but it's useless. You go to the merchants, you find nothing. The border is closed. Everything is closed. Before the war, around 500 shipments of goods used to enter. Today, during the war, very few shipments come in. Only medical supplies, no food supplies. A catastrophe will happen. We might start eating tree leaves soon. There is nothing left.
The situation is tragic. You now go to the biggest malls in Khan Yunis. You don't find any of your necessities. You don't find flour, sugar, rice, salt, or anything to give to your child. We are in a very difficult situation. The people stopped finding anything to eat. Why is this happening? When will this end?
In Gaza, fighting around Al-Shifa hospital intensified over the weekend. In Al-Shifa hospital, critical infrastructure were damaged, including water tanks, oxygen stations, the cardiovascular facility, and the maternity ward. 3 nurses were also reported killed. Many of the people that were in the hospital have fled or tried to flee. Some have remained behind. It's very difficult for us to establish how many are still in the premises. Yesterday, also, the Palestinian Red Crescent Society announced that Al-Quds Hospital in Gaza City was no longer operational due to the damages to the main generator line, which could not be repaired during the conflict and the consequent power outage.
Very much on behalf of the United States.
In particular, we call everybody to respect hospitals. IHL specifically protect hospitals and medical personnel. Hospitals must not be made places of warfare. Any military operation around or within hospital must take steps to spare and protect the patients, medical staff, and other civilians. And all feasible precautions must be taken, including the effective warnings, which consider the ability of patients, medical staff, and other civilians to evacuate safely. Okay, thank you. I heard that the first day there were some babies, a couple of babies that passed away after the incubators had been disconnected, and they were pulled out of the oxygen support and the comfort of the heated incubator. And I know there were 43 babies that were originally in incubators, and there were 41 patients under ICU in intensive care unit. So, but I do not have an update considering what happened in the last days in terms of losses of communication with them. Over.
Then Amélie, then we will keep going.
The trucks that will arrive starting from tomorrow, we will not simply be able to unload them because we don't have the fuel for the forklift, and we do not have the fuel for the trucks that are distributing that assistance out to where the people in need are.
This morning, the Palestinian Prime Minister.
By Thursday, communication will be completely down because Paltel, the service provider, has already announced that actually starting from today, some tower will be shutting down, and by Thursday, all their system will be shut down because they will run out of fuel.
The UAE said they were...
Lives in Gaza are hanging by a thread due to depleting of fuel and medical supplies. We hear that patients are already dying, and we have been reported few cases. Also, access to water and food has become more and more difficult for those remaining. And we are trying to figure out better how many have remained behind, but it is, of course, a little bit complicated given the inability of our teams to go in the north of the Gaza Strip.
Not to attack civilians, not to kill children.
Today we have presented a flash appeal. It's a 1.2 billion that covers the month of October, November, December. Of course, it's an estimate of the needs based on what we can, what we should deliver. But the constraints, of course, around our ability to deliver are a big obstacle for us.
Please come back anytime. Thank you so much, and thank you, everyone.
ثبتوا في حالكم.